video where today we're going to be doing our Celtics historic team. So you know how this series goes, but if you do not know, if you are new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe, 1. But 2, check out the first episode in this series. It's really part of my new series, but it's also part of my new, I guess you could call it, revamp channel. The style I'm changing, doing more podcast type stuff. So yeah, we're going to start off with our point guard, go to center for our Celtics historic team. So let's get right into this without further introduction. At point guard, we have Bob Cousy. Now Bob Cousy is a Hall of Famer, but not only is this point guard of the Celtics a Hall of Famer and one of the best point guards of all time, he's a 13 times All-Star, a 12 times All-NBA player, a 6 times NBA champion, and that's all with the Celtics. He helped the Celtics to win 6 rings, which is why they were one of the best franchises in the NBA. He is also a 2 times All-Star MVP, and he was the 1956-1957 season MVP. Those stats are pretty incredible, and you really do expect that from that quality player because, you know, the Celtics, they've had so many great players, and Bob Cousy is definitely one of them. Now, we're going to look at two individual seasons, and that's going to be the 54-55 season, the 56-57. In the 54-55 season, he had 21.2 points and 7.8 assists. And in the 56-57, he had 20.6 and 7.5. Those stats are incredible. And in 56-57, that's when he won the MVP, and he also won a ring. So the season he won the MVP, he also had a ring. And in those playoffs, we've already established that he got 20.6 points and 7.5 assists, but he stepped his assist numbers up even more. In the playoffs, he had 20.2 points and 9.3 assists. That's pretty incredible if you ask me. But we are going to move on to the shooting guard position. Now, the shooting guard position looks like this. We have another Hall of Famer because all these guys, you know, they're going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'll give you that because they're just that good of players. And you also know because they're all in the Hall of Fame. None of them are really current. I was thinking Isaiah Thomas, but Bob Cousy just had a better career than Isaiah Thomas. Maybe in the future, Kyrie Irving. Who knows? But at shooting guard, we have another Hall of Famer, John Havlicek. And he's a 13 times All-Star, 11 times All-NBA, 8 times All-Defensive Player. He's an 8 times NBA champion. And he was a 73-74 Finals MVP. Now, the one reason I included John Havlicek is just because he's a great player. We'll show you. I mean, obviously you can tell if he's a 13 times All-Star and 8 times NBA champion. However, the other reason why I chose him to play for the Celtics is because he played from the age of 22 to 37 on the Celtics. He committed his whole career to play with Boston. And if you look at some seasons, we'll look at 3 of them. In the 64-65 season, he had 22.8 points per game, 6.2, and 3.3. In the 70-71 season, he had 28.9, 9, and 7.5. And in the 71-72 season, he had 27.5, 8.2, and 7.5. Those stats are pretty incredible, especially the 70-71 season. You know, 28.9 points per game is that's incredible. And he had his best numbers all over the place. Obviously, except for he did tie with the 71-72 season. He tied there with the 70-71. Maybe he was robbed the MVP. You let me know for that 70-71 season. Moving on, though, small forward. I was considering him to be the GOAT, the Celtics' greatest player of all time. However, I'm not going to give it to him because he's like if there was a team and you had a captain, he's like the co-captain. Because he's the second best Celtics player of all time. You probably guessed who it is already. You probably know it's controversial because there is another player who may be better, may be worse. But I'm giving the small forward position, obviously, to Larry Bird. Now, Larry Bird, Larry Legend, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a 12 times All-Star, a 10 times All-NBA player, a 3 times All-Defensive player. So not only was he known for his three-point shooting, he was also known for his defense, which is why he was a 3 times All-Defensive player. He was an 81, 82 All-Star MVP, a 3 times NBA champion with the Celtics, a Rookie of the Year, a 2 times Finals MVP. So when they won the Finals in their 2 out of 3 years, he was the best player in those Finals. And he was a 3 times MVP, back-to-back-to-back MVP. In his rookie season, he had 21.3, 10.4, and 4.5. That's only in his rookie season. We're going to be looking at Larry Bird's 3 of his best seasons. This is, when he was at his peak. And we're going to be looking at 2 seasons and then 1 playoffs because he had an extraordinary playoffs when he was the Finals MVP. So yeah, let's talk about these stats. Excuse me. In the 1986-87 season, he had 28.1 points per game and also added 9.2 rebounds per game and 7.6 assists per game. Those stats are incredible. And we talk now about, Russell Westbrook, the Big O, averaging a triple-double. Those are point guards. To see someone like a small forward, someone like Larry Bird, average 9.2 and 7.6. Really absurd because when you think about it, that's actually pretty close, especially for a small forward to have that kind of triple-double. We see LeBron James and those types of players putting up those types of numbers. So, Larry Bird did that too. Moving on to the 87-88 season. 29.9 points. He stepped his points per game up by, 1.8 points. He also had 9.3 boards and 6.1 assists, so a lot less assists, but he didn't need those assists because of the fact that he had more rebounds, only 0.1, but, almost 30 points, which is incredible. And if we go to the 85-86 playoffs, when they went to the finals and they had won the finals, he averaged in those 85-86 playoffs 25.9, 9.3, and 8.2. So you can see when it comes time to those big games, he gets 8.2 assists. He gets everyone involved, but at the same time, he'll score 26 a night and also about 10 boards. So yeah, moving on to power forward, it was really besides him and, we also had options of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. But ultimately, I went with another Kevin. It's Kevin McHale. Kevin Kamale. Nope, I meant Kevin McHale. He played his full career at the Celtics, and he ended up being a Hall of Famer, so you can tell that's pretty good. He was an incredible he was known for being a 6th man, as he won 2 times 6th man of the year, and it's like today's Manu Ginobili, that type of thing. Kevin McHale is indeed a 7 times All-Star, a 1-time All-NBA player, 3 times NBA champion, a 6 times All-Defensive, and as I said, with 3 times NBA champion, comes with 3 times NBA championships with the Celtics. So it's not just with another team, it's with the Celtics, and you can tell a lot of players that go to Boston stay at Boston for their whole career. That's been something that's come across many times as we're making this. Now, Kevin McHale, he's obviously with that 6 times All-Defensive, an amazing defensive player. And we can see in the 86-87 season, his offensive stats were 26.1 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, and 2.6 assists. Very good across the board. And in the 85-86 playoffs, when he won with Larry Bird, 24.9 points per game. That's only 1 less than Larry Legend. And the fact that that's Kevin McHale putting up those numbers, that's pretty insane. But obviously, Larry Bird beats him on rebounds and assists, as Kevin McHale did get 8.6 rebounds per game and 2.7 assists per game. And that is definitely some respectable numbers. But at center, it's the main man, the SGOAT, the Celtics' greatest player of all time. As you know, we had the Hawks player the best player that the Hawks have had. Make sure to check that video if you want to see the Hawks' greatest player of all time. But Bill Russell is indeed the SGOAT. He's a Hall of Famer, a 12 times All-Star, 11 times All-NBA. He's a 62-63 All-Star MVP, a 1 times All-Defensive Player, 11 times NBA champion with the Celtics, 5 times MVP. And in the 13 seasons he played in the NBA, think about that. 13 seasons, he was a 12 times All-Star in 13 seasons. And in the 13 seasons he played, he had 11 NBA champions. And he was in 13 playoffs in the 13 seasons he played, with 5 of those 13 winning an MVP. You can't tell me this guy is not the GOAT. And he really is. Possibly considered, not even possibly, but he is one of the greatest players of all time, and possibly the greatest center of all time. I think he could, many people do think greatest center of all time. Wilt Chamberlain, you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think, Bill Russell might just be the greatest center of all time. The GOAT, the greatest center of all time, or center greatest of all time, would be the GOAT too, so he's both GOATs. I don't know. But we can look at some individual seasons, including the 61-62 season, where he averaged 18.9 points per game and 23.6 rebounds per game. He averaged more rebounds than points in his whole career. However, his points total were still about 19-20 per season. And that's crazy to think. 22.5 rebounds per game over his whole course of his career. And as I said before, he won a ring all but 2 seasons in his career. That's insane. And in those 13 seasons, he was an 11 times All-NBA player, a 12 times All-Star. That's insane. And in the 60-61 playoffs, he averaged about 30 points, exactly 29.9 rebounds per game. You cannot tell me Bill Russell is not good. But yes, that's going to do it for this episode. Bill Russell is just insane. That's why he's the GOAT. And that's why I put him over Larry Bird, just because stats don't lie, do they? And thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. Do feel free to hit the dislike button if you didn't enjoy this video. But let me know in the comment section why you didn't like this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to stay notified of when I get, basically when I upload. You just check your subscriptions tab. And that is if you have a Gmail. And yeah, thank you for watching. And have an amazing day.